business. Started it, founded it, and I live with priorities to figure out how to budget, how to plan ahead for the future, how to do things sequentially, and do things with it opposed to the knee-jerk reflexes that we seem to have in our city management. And I think that we just clean it up, polish it up, and take a break. Rest, let everybody recover, and then we say, okay, what do we need to do next? And it doesn't need to be a big deal. I see, Don Farmer likes to call it Marysville, or what's he call it? Mayberry. I see Mayberry. You know, I want to see a nice, comfortable retirement community.
I must agree with a lot that I've heard from Andy and Butch and Roger so far coming down the list, but there's something else I want to see at the end of my 4-year term, if the folks in this room bestow on me the wonderful privilege of the position of public trust. I want to see a citizenry in harmony with this government. I want to see a city council that has developed over the years, perhaps with my help and others, credibility, a sense of honesty, a sense of integrity, okay? Integrity in which the people look at that council and feel proud. Is that too much to hope for? I certainly hope not, because if it is, I'm going to be wasting my time, because I'm going to fight real hard for that. That's important to me. I want to see a citizenry in a wonderful city that we live in be able to work very closely with the patriots that are here, namely our businesses, who we depend on for vital services. You need to be partners with them. We need to always respect our tourism trade. It's so important for us. I want to see a citizenry that looks at all of this together, okay, with controlled growth, with low density, and with an idea of why the folks have come here. I have read the master plan very carefully. Okay? I love the master plan. I love this city. Okay? But I want to see a city in harmony. But most important, I want to see a city council that has finally developed credibility and a closeness with its people, so that the hard decisions that it needs to be made will be supported by the citizenry. If you don't have support of the citizenry on major issues, you have what we have today. It's just that simple, and it's unfortunate. It's sad, and it shouldn't be. So that's what I see at the end of my 4-year term. And I look very passionately at that. I'm very passionate about what I do. And I certainly hope that that will happen within that 4 years, because that's critically important to me. I can't waste my time. Thank you.
I'm a little fearful of what 8 years will be. I think we'll be an aging population. I think we're not going to be renewing our youth on this island other than the children that are here. I think for a young family to move to this island now, it's cost prohibitive. And I think it's a shame. That's going to hurt the island. I've seen a lot over the 20 years, and I look around the audience, and there's a lot of people out there that have been here longer than I. But 21 years, I've seen a lot. It's still paradise. I came for a week to visit my mom for a week, and it's almost 22 years later. I'm still here, like a bad penny. I just never go away. I keep coming back. But it is a paradise now. It's ironic. I think I sit and listen to people complaining about construction. Thank God. I mean, to make an omelet, you better break some eggs. And by God, when we incorporated this city, there were a lot of eggs that needed to be broken, to just be brought up. Wayne mentioned about waters. Yeah, God knows I sat in those floodwaters many a June, July, August afternoon. I had a Jeep at one point, and I was pushing people, you know, out of the water, watching people drive into swales, trying to go into the city center. So I see it continuing to get better. But the one negative I do see is I think the price of real estate has priced a lot of young people out of here. We're not going to have the families that I'd like us to have. So I see us being an aging, not me, of course, but I see all of you getting older. But beyond that, I think, yes, we're a few weeks away, a month away from Collier construction being over. The roads getting back to normal. And yeah, let's slow down and take a deep breath and enjoy what we've accomplished.
My vision is biased by my history of family, the number of children I have that span generations, and grandchildren. My vision is a community, a mixture of retirees, wise, virulent retirees, and a mixture of families, kids at the parks, grandkids at the parks, using the bikeways, using the walkways. I see a top tourist destination and a top place to live. I see a government that's open, warm, and receptive. Not an alien concept. On the council that I served on up north, we had students sit with council members at each meeting, different students who were interested in government. They discussed, they participated, they interacted with the crowd. That's the kind of environment we need throughout the cross-section of the generations. That's the kind of environment we need. And, lastly, considering 50% of all of our tax dollars go to the Collier County Board of Education, 50% to the Collier County Board of Education, I'm looking forward, with all the pressure in government we can apply, to seeing a golden high school on Track K. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to exercise some of the privileges of being the chairman. Most of us here know Bill McMullen over here. He asked me earlier to have a question, so I'm going to defer to him. And incidentally, from here on out, that clock's running too fast. We're going to limit your answers, gentlemen, to 1 minute. I want to get more questions from the audience in.
I'm going to help the timeline. This is a yes or no question. In May of this year, our senior state legislatures, and Senator Pruitt, who heads up the Senate, and House Representative Rubino, who head up the House, issued a joint statement saying the taxes are crushing Floridians. And they pledge to pass a Tax Reform Act. And in June of this year, they passed a Tax Reform Act that essentially reduced our taxes 9% below the 2006 levels. Every single state senator and every single legislator but one voted for it. My question to you is, do you embrace tax reform for the Floridians and certainly Marco Island?
1 minute, gentlemen.
He said yes or no, so the answer is yes.
Yes.
Let me think about that. Yes.
Very strongly.
Absolutely yes, Bill.
A question that long-winded needs more than yes or no. I think Marco Island responded to your question, Bill, 10 years ago when we put the cap in. We have been fiscally responsible through the cityhood as I know it, and of course, I'm all for.
Yeah, and the homestead.